How has this been hiding for so long? Knowing that we can still find locations like this, what else is still out there, waiting for us to expose it to the world? Pakistan. This is known as the Chaukhandi Tombs, a graveyard where tombs were constructed either as single graves or as groups of up to 8, raised on common platform, where we have found so many times that the previous civilization, the old world, is buried below these incredible structures, these structures that last forever. Which brings up the question, did the previous civilization know that an event was on the way? An event that would wipe their incredible civilization out all over the world. And they wanted the next civilization to find them and see exactly what they were capable of, building these incredible, elaborate structures on top of their final resting place. I'm not sure, but at this point, we have to ask questions and add everything up that we've found together. When our civilization referenced these tombs for the very first time, yet again in our timeline, in 1851, and finally, given serious attention in 1917, both, yet again, are in our timeline. Just like we said, this timeline that we're in just began within the last 300 years, in my opinion. The timeline that we have exposed with population data, technology release dates, false narratives, repopulation tactics, and so much more. The 1850s, a time period worldwide that humans were suffering, a population that was clearly reset, back to horses and wagons, cowboys and Indians, no technology, no electricity, completely reset. This group of people, a very small group of people, like we have shown, in terms of population, then start finding the old world structures, exactly like this site that we see today. A cemetery of this type was discovered at the turn of the 20th century by a political agent, who was, of course, the first to investigate this site, as well as other cemeteries. A political agent gets to be the first one to see it. Do you believe that he was the one that really found it? You tell me. Obviously, somebody found this, and then the political figure steps in my opinion, and then has to decide what the heck to do. Since this place obviously doesn't fit in with the narrative that we've all been told, that we are the most advanced civilization to ever be here. We are evolving and we are advancing. We know this is not true. Something had to be done. Now, we have seen where the previous civilization would put J or an I right in front of the date on these buildings, where many times the J was just turned right into a 1. And then we are told that only one of the tombs was dated. We know that this is not true. We know that every single one of the tombs were dated. It was not just one, but we are told that one was dated. The date of the death being inscribed on it, with the numbers in reverse order as AH1169, where they try and translate it to 1756. We know that this place is not from 1756. We know that this is a lie and not even close. AH1169. What year are we really in? What timeline are we in? How many timelines have there been before us? What is AH? Again, telling us that some inscriptions have vanished and artifacts from the site are believed to have disappeared. Who do you think did this? And if you think this is a one-off, and this is your first time discovering this channel, I will show you that we are just getting started. Where this site is similar in style to the elaborate tombs at the Mackley Necropolis. Near Thada, a necropolis is a cemetery, especially a large one belonging to an ancient city, the Old World, constructed with a buff-colored sandstone. Should we take this up a notch? I think it's time, so here we go. Some of the tombs are 12 to 14 feet tall, with multi-tiered platforms and domes. The scale of these tombs far exceeds the needs of a standard-sized human, leading to speculation. Were these tombs constructed in proportion to the actual size of the person being buried? 12 to 14 foot tall tombs. Could the tombs have possibly been designed for giants. And we are just getting started today. Welcome to episode 112 of My Lunch Break. I hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new, welcome. And I want to thank all of our sponsors over on Patreon. Thank you to FlatEarthDave.com. You can check out his app, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac app. I'll put the link right in the description. And you can use my referral code, MLB. If you click the Tartaria button, you'll see the My Lunch Break playlist right here. The app is awesome. Thank you to Rebecca Kay, David and Sherry Ferguson, Chuck Templeton, Joy Lee, Stephanie Nolan, the Burlesons, Suez KC, Edwin Rice, Helmut, Charles Kruger, Don Gaston, Dan Woodall, Dale, DJ Clicktrack, Edward and Brianna, Jacob Law, Jim Ribley and Christine Duggan, Kyle Glasscock, PKTFnews.org, Ben Dries NL, Natalie Shippenoff, Amberson EMC, HK Sue, Melissa Edgar, Biggles, Clayton Lamar, Double Task Homestead, John Adams, Roberts O'Zolins, Phoenix Art, The Arnolds, Attila Power, VKH Bonner, Forbidden Gecko Love, Justin Grobner Grubb, Leah Strong, Dakota Dunn, Eric Martinez, Ivan Apoctoli, EdgarT-shirts.com, Meta, Jason Hochberg, Marie C, ValleyMedicinals.com, Kyle Logan, Alina and Chris the IT Guy, Michael Dingyu, Patriot Armory, Tom O'Hara, Michael D. Connor, C3SCOB, Ancient Tallow, Jeffrey Temple, SonyaDane.com, James Alt, Bucksui, Jason Prest, Suki Warrior, We the People, Migs, Mark Chapman, Muji and DeClan, Ariana Oates, Jenica Joyce, Nathan Burba, Ski, Codrenth, Beacon of Truth, Liberty's Arborist, Thomas Thorpe Peterson, Zinger Coffee and Tea, Natasha C, K Moore, DevlinMcGregor.com, Miss Fox, Diamond Jewel, David Rauschenbach, Emily Maryland, Felipe, Curious Cat, Mike D, etc., Dan McGee, Lori Hedvig Johnson, Terry, Paraplegic Coffee, Ellie Annie, Ivan Apoctoli, Seth Craigo, D Woods, Glenn Gunderson, Mousie's Mouse Cheese Records, James Vincent, Robert's Brain is Gone, Extreme Reality Check, Anna and Marley Valdez, Wayne T, Late for Dinner, Wanakar Camo, Paolo Goncalves, G Power, Jesse De Leon, Blake, Rick Tapke, Ducks, MDF, TFB, William Richard Jeffries V, Dax Bill Check and Son, Jetski Chuck, Rod Way, Checkmate, Dylan Mugenberg, Leonard Insalacro, Robert Petro, Katz Hill, Bruce Latour, Susie Q, Yark 143, Sven Eric, Andrea J. Kerrigan, Janet Elizabeth, Dr. Mom, Papa One, Carrie, Kitty Kitties, Making Eagles, GOL, and Patriot, Doc Halo, Lisa Boutwell, Friz Tickle, Brenna Fernandez, Paraduction, Jack Kramer, Henry's Mom, Vince Moreno, Shiba Shaba in the Darkness. You guys are all awesome and helping this channel out a lot. The Chaukhandi Tombs form a necropolis, a sprawling city of the dead. It is one of the largest ancient graveyards in Pakistan, covering a massive area. We were always asked, you all speak of this previous civilization. Well, where did they all go? Where are they? With the exact number of burials here being uncertain. Some historians estimate that there could have been up to 1,500 tombs, where we all know that there are so many more. An entire civilization buried in silence, where we now know that they are right below our feet. The old world. Now, if we don't just take a minute and just look at the detailed construction at this site, I think we would all be doing it a disservice. It is unbelievable. It shows that this was not done with a hammer and a chisel, with no training, and just doing this in their spare time after they struggled to find food. A massive story is missing from our true history. This was not done with a chisel. And then take a look at this. This was not done with a chisel. Nothing at this site was being constructed with a chisel. The detail on these tombs are incredible. Can you believe that we're told that they hit this thing with a chisel just perfectly over and over without ever making a mistake? No training and suffering without a grocery store nearby. no shoes, and no lights. We are told that these people were worse off than we are today. We are told that they were struggling to find food, yet they had so much time to chisel palaces and geometric designs into sandstone. Throughout the first 112 episodes to this point, how many of these sites that we've talked about were being taught in the classrooms and college history classes? These sites didn't make it into one of my books, and this is by design. Showing this site would start to confuse the whole class. The class would start to say, wait a minute, you just told me about the Mayflower and how people were getting sick and nobody could do anything at night because they were freezing and suffering, living in the dark and fighting for survival for thousands of years. And at the same time, they're over in Pakistan just chiseling palace burial sites. What's going on here? This would ruin their story hour. Oh, no, I mean history class. We mentioned the elaborate tombs at the Mackley Necropolis, which is also located in Pakistan. Again, this is a necropolis, and we have now unlocked this key. It shows us where the old world is when we are told that this necropolis in Pakistan is one of the largest funerary sites in the world. This is all spread over an area of 10 kilometers or 6.2 miles near the city of Thada. And this site houses approximately 500,000 to 1 million people from the old world. And I'm just gonna let you know that there are most likely so many more than 1 million. With this group here yet again, as of 1981, 1 million people that we are being told about, covering over 6 miles. This is massive. These two sites are only 43 miles apart, and I bet you they connect underground. We have seen this in Cyprus. These locations are massive burial sites for the previous civilization, in my opinion, with millions buried right underneath us, and they have been here our entire lives. Again, 43 miles apart, showing that the previous civilization was not just sitting around in one location. They were doing this type of incredible architecture and construction all over the world. Look at the detail. This is 43 miles apart with the same sort of detail. This is mind-blowing and clearly not done with a hammer. I feel like leaving this picture up on the screen and just looking at it for an hour. The detail is incredible, with massive columns at the site. Again, with perfect detail going all the way up. Again, this is a necropolis. We see the necropolis right here, and then we see the graveyard up here. And then we just have sports complexes and fast food restaurants. We have a gym and a gas pump. And I want to ask you, how many people in this location know that 1 million people from the old world that we were told about, where there's most likely more, 500,000 to 1 million for sure, are buried right underneath this office? And I say this because we all know that this is all over the world. This isn't just here in Pakistan. This is in every single country. And for so long before this research, most people had no idea. We would just go to the gym and have no clue that the old world was literally right underneath us. In so many cities, we have seen the catacombs, where they just name it different things, but it's all the same. It is the old world in a network of tunnels placed into geometric patterns. At the Chaukhandi Tombs, there are, of course, still unexcavated areas, with certain sections of the tombs remaining unexcavated, all due to preservation, preserving the narrative. We just saw this. We're at the Cahokia Mounds. They stopped excavating the site because of preservation. We've seen this all over the world. It's a repeating narrative controlled by the same group. What is here at the site that we are not allowed to see? What is so important that they need to preserve the narrative when we are told yet again that these areas are off limits to visitors, off limits to the public, all of us? What is in these so-called excavation areas? Where it goes on to say, if there are hidden chambers, we all know that there are, the hidden ones are also off limits to the public because they haven't been explored yet. So because they haven't got to go in there and see them first, then me and you are not allowed to go see them. Do we all see how this works now? We all know that they've seen them though. This is an excuse to not show exactly what they've found. Going back to the Mackley Hill Necropolis, 43 miles away, telling us that there are inaccessible zones with parts of the necropolis just being overgrown and have not been thoroughly surveyed. So those sections are not open to me and you because there's too much grass growing over it. So because they can't get a lawnmower out, that's off limits. There's too many weeds and we can't afford lawn service. It's overgrown. Ridiculous. With some tombs being sealed off. Sealing off tombs so that they are inaccessible to tourists. This is crazy. And a clear admission that something important is in there that they don't want us to see. Let's take a minute and thank all of our badge members, all of our Patreons, and every single subscriber, and everybody who likes the episodes. I appreciate all of you. We are on YouTube. We are on Rumble, X, TikTok, Instagram, Rockfin, and Spotify, if you're looking for more content from us. And for the best part, and to give so much away to all of us and make this another place in the world that proves that there was a previous civilization right here where we all live before us, and that civilization was incredibly powerful and advanced, and we're not being told about them, and that we are correct. There are rumors and speculation at the site about hidden tunnels or chambers beneath the necropolis. These are not accessible and might still be under study or completely undiscovered. There are underground tunnels and underground chambers, and we now know this. Can you believe what we have exposed today? Millions of people buried in Pakistan, underneath structures that don't make sense at all in this stupid timeline that we're told about. Structures that are still here, and they will stand the test of time. Better than anything that we build today, by far. And right when you think you're done, and you have this area all wrapped up, all you gotta do is look 3 miles away. And we have yet another necropolis, proving, in my opinion, that this entire location is just one massive burial site. These are not separate necropolises. There are so many bodies buried underneath our feet here in this location. So many more than 1 million. Something massive happened here. A story that we are not being told about. A story that I believe was found in the 17 and 1800s and is not being told to us today. I do believe that there's a group here that fully understands this place that we all live. And they understand the true story. I believe that they've found the tablets and they've found the technology. And at the very minimum, they understand the true story so much better than we do. They have found the clay tablets. They have found the text. And we have been shown this. We've exposed this all over the world. Again, only 3 miles away, we have a mosque. We are told that this was constructed in 3 years. Between 1644 and 1647, all of this is done without a power tool and without a light bulb. No shoes and no training. And then when they're done, they get on their donkey and they go home to their dirt mud huts. These dates of 1644 to 1647 are complete nonsense. And we know this. Intricate tiles into perfect geometric patterns. Could you even imagine one of our towns building one of these today? In just 3 years. The courtyard is lined with 33 arches. Of course it is. And the mosque features excellent acoustics. A person speaking on one end of the dome can be heard from the other end. And prayers in the main hall can be heard throughout the entire building. An advanced civilization was definitely here, before all of us, is exactly what we're showing today. Understanding the true science of this world, understanding how this place works, and how sound works, how construction is done with perfection. This previous civilization mastered this place that we all live, and we're so much further ahead than we are today. We are finding this truth out one episode at a time. We are seeing that we are being given back the old world's technology, very slowly, in a controlled manner. Technology that I believe was found at these sites. And there were so many sites all over the world. Knowing this gives us an incredible understanding that so much was found in the last 200 to 300 years and is not being fully shown to us. Having a total of 93 domes, this is the most of any structure in Pakistan, with a restoration project taking place in 1812, right when they find it. This is destruction of whatever they found. This is not restoration, and we know this. With this group getting involved yet again in 1993, 43 miles away from Thada, we have another necropolis, proving that this is not one small necropolis. This is one massive burial site, in my opinion, with most likely millions, if not billions, buried underneath this layer of dirt, with tunnels being off limits to the public. And if we extend even further west, we find yet another burial site, another necropolis, all located right here in Pakistan, all in this same exact spot on the map, with this necropolis having an undisclosed amount of burials, though it is known to contain several hundred to possibly thousands of graves yet again. And we know there's so many more. We know that these are all connected. It's one massive necropolis, a burial site, especially a large one. We are told exactly what this is. They're not hiding it. This is a game, in my opinion, where this one dates back to at least the 13th century, with some reports suggesting it may be even earlier. This is the old world. And to tie all of this together today, where we go back to the beginning, the Chaukhandi Tombs, where we found these giant tombs with incredible designs all over them. You would think that these would be the only ones in the world. You would think that this would be a once-off. When we only have to travel 25 miles away yet again, and we find even more, showing that this is all connected. This entire area is connected, not just above ground, but also below. Showing that, in my opinion, this is a massive burial site right here in Pakistan with a much deeper meaning, where there is an admission that they found ancient texts at the site from the area mentioning the shrine. They know the truth about these sites, of course, in my opinion, and you're free to think whatever you'd like, but I guarantee it. They know the truth about these sites. They know exactly what this is, but this is being hidden from us, where they have crocodiles at the shrine, where some historians say ridiculous things, that the crocodiles have just been at the shrine's pond for centuries. I'm gonna ask you all, do you think that these crocodiles are possibly keeping us all away from something? Something underneath them? You tell me. If you're enjoying this, please hit that subscribe button, the like button, and comment below if you'd like to know what happened in this picture. This place that we live is filled with old world treasures, incredible locations that tell such a different story once you understand what to look for, including this tomb that obviously doesn't belong in our timeline. And yet again, it is a vast burial ground where we see this over and over. The Chaukhandi Tombs and the massive necropolises nearby are more than just burial sites. These are proofs that a civilization before us was operating at a level we can't even comprehend today. The scale of these tombs, the insane level of detail, and the precision in construction don't add up to the timeline that we've all been told. These weren't made with primitive tools, a stick and a shard of glass like we've seen before. They weren't made by people that were struggling to just survive. These were made by a civilization that understood how this world works. A civilization far ahead of what we are now. And what's with the restricted access? Why are we told that they found tombs and then sealed them off? Why are there inaccessible zones? Due to overgrowth or preservation. We all know what's happening here. There's something in those tunnels, those chambers, that they don't want us to see. And if you pair that with similar sites like Mackley Necropolis, just 43 miles away, the evidence just becomes undeniable. These aren't separate spots. They are connected. This was a massive burial site for an advanced civilization, a civilization that's been buried and forgotten, and not by accident. So I'm gonna ask you all, what else is still out there? What other pieces of the puzzle are just waiting to be uncovered, hidden right underneath our feet? I truly believe that this is just the start, and trust me, we are not even close to being done exposing all of this yet. There is so much more to this story, and together, we're going to figure it out. I have a lot of episodes already lined up for the future. I cannot wait to share them. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'll be back next Saturday with so much more. See ya.